Right, we're now live. We're on air.
Okay, I'd just like to give it a second or two just to, catch up. Anyway, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are recording this
on Sunday.
A day early because we're busy.
Yeah, we'll be in North Wales when this should be going live. So, we won't be.
Yeah, we're pre-recording it. We're getting ahead of the game, and we don't want to miss an episode. So yes, we're travelling to North Wales this evening.
Yeah.
Well, late afternoon. Going to leave about 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And the reason is my first demo. I've got 2 demonstrations tomorrow at 2 woodturning clubs. Just as you go over the border into North Wales, Mould, Wrexham way, North Wales. The first demonstration, now this is a first, is tomorrow morning on a Monday, starting at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they've said that we can get there from 8 a.m. So rather than having to navigate what would be a very busy M6, M56 on that way down, we thought, no, we're not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to load the car, to sit in traffic for 3 hours, and have all the stress and mither of that. So we're gonna get down there tonight and stay in a hotel, and just so less mithering tomorrow morning. So it's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
We settle there tonight, and we can get a reasonably early night. And I'm thinking get up at 6.
Okay.
Well, it's, I need to get up and have breakfast and wake up and things. I can't get up at. That's my phone. I've got my phone on quite quiet.
Have you got the board? We've not done the board yet.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're doing this back to that. No, that's back.
All right.
So it is At Home with the Fishers. I think I'm going to have to redo this. It's getting smudged.
All right.
Episode 13. Starring Chris and Nicola Fisher, and that's it today.
Woohoo! Just us two.
No special guest.
No special guest, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you.
Next one will be Andy Berkey.
Yes.
Next week, but of course we've got the ever-present and ever-watchful, as I said on a tweet earlier on this week, B-Dog
under the desk.
And I sometimes say B-Dog because if I say his name,
he gets his attention.
It gets his attention. So if I say B-Dog, we can refer to him without unsettling him because he's comfy under the desk at Nicola's feet at the minute. So B-Dog's here. So yes, the demonstration tomorrow. First one starting at 9, probably I'm guessing 3 hours like they normally are.
12, I think it is.
And then what time is the later one at D-side?
I need to double check, but I think it's 6 o'clock. We'll be there anyway from about 5, so I need to just double check what time they actually start, but I think it said 6.
That's and the one at D-side, that's they're a motley crew, but in the best possible way. Owen Morris, who we know, and we know most of the members there.
Yeah, we've been there. Well, this will be the third time.
And they're a great bunch and make us feel so welcome. And we have some great banter to and fro, especially the Welsh Undertaker. He's funny. He's got some great stories. But no, 2 demonstrations tomorrow, so pretty busy. And the gap in between, we're going to go to a retail park near the second demo, and they've got places to eat and shop there, so we can hang out there and make sure we've got food and drink. So it's funny because the previous 2 occasions we've been into Pizza Hut for our lunch there, and the waitress, I don't know if you're allowed to say that anymore with everyone being so.
Yeah, you can call them waitress.
So the waitress, the second time we went in, she remembered us from the first time, so that was cool.
Well, she looked after us really well both times, didn't she?
Yeah, and they're really on the game. Big shout out actually to Pizza Hut. They are really BVI aware, and it's one of the few eateries where you will be offered a braille or large print menu. both of which are of no use to me. But absolutely brilliant effort for even thinking of that.
But at least they're thinking about it, aren't they? And it's not just, here's a menu, or you're not going to get a menu, and they've done something towards it.
So well done, Pizza Hut. And it was there. And when we went to Pizza Hut in Warrington, one time, he was good. The manager there again. Can see that you're visually impaired. Would you like a large print or a braille menu? Absolutely brilliant. Head and shoulders better than anywhere else when it comes to BVI awareness. So epic is the word I like to use.
So we'll probably go to Pizza Hut again, won't we?
For lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, and then because my evening demo is at tea time, we need to really fuel up when we get the chance midday.
Yeah, because often when we do demos, what happens is, we end up on demo days really eating very little, don't we?
It's sporadic and little,
Depending on which hotel we're in, sometimes we don't actually have breakfast in the hotel. We'll just get cereal bars, and then if we're lucky, we might get a sandwich at lunchtime, and then we'll be driving home, we might sometimes get a sandwich part way up, but we don't really eat a vast amount, do we? And
no. So it's going to have to be, eat a decent lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then maybe just have a snack before the demo or while I'm setting up. Cereal bar or banana. That's what I like when I'm setting up if I'm hungry. Something like that.
We're a bit more organised now. Aren't we? We've sort of got a bit more of a plan. We're
slowly getting there now after about 50 demonstrations.
We've only done about 2 years of demos.
We're slowly getting a plan.
Yeah, so we have a list of things to take, and I've got some stuff that we're going to take, and so we've got things to eat tonight.
We're having sort of like a
deli tea
on the road, but we'll have that when we get somewhere tonight. And, it's going to be sort of like some pasta and fresh artisan bread and just some nice little deli stuff. So a deli tea. That's what I'm having tonight. So what have we been up to this week? Actually, I've just spoken via text to Phil Lewis. And that's I'll just double check actually here while the phone's on quiet.
Anyway, whilst Chris is doing that, we went to Axminster on Friday to take Chris's bandsaw in because it needs a bit of a tweak. So they're going to tweak it for you, aren't they?
Well, either that or hit it with a big hammer. Yeah, what it is my bandsaw. It's the what was the hobby series and now the craft series, the HBS 250. It's been a really good bandsaw, but for some reason the blade jumps off every time I use it now. And the knob that's at the back for adjusting the tracking, the tilt of the top wheel, there's too much play in that, and it's not adjusting the tracking of that wheel at all. And I've tried to find a temporary bolt, a carriage bolt of the same thread, but it was still jumping off, and the rubber wheels are still on it. It's not like I've taken the rubber wheels off. They're still on it, and a couple of bearings had seized. So I had some spare bearings, but not the right sort, but they were on, just acting really as a guide to the blade. So it's become a pain to use, the fact that you're about to cut something and then it jumps off. Luckily, it's obviously the blade is enclosed behind the doors and the guard, so there's no element of danger at all, but it jumps off every single time. So it needs some therapy. So
it's gone to the spa.
It's gone to the spa.
Gone to the Axminster spa.
For some therapy. And it's funny because when I went in and mentioned it to Phil Lewis, and we've got some news to mention about Phil. And this is, I love him to bits. He's so funny and he does cheer me up. And I said to Phil, I said, my bandsaw's not, it's not right, and this, that, and can I bring it in? And I wasn't really hinting at, oh right, you sponsor me, so I want a new bandsaw. I wasn't hinting at that at all. I was trying to get the words out to say, is there anything you can do for me bandsaw? And of course, the fact that they sponsor me, like a cheapish repair bill. And he said, flipping heck, Chief, it's not swap shop, So that made me laugh, and I nearly spat my tea out everywhere. So yeah, we took it in. So hopefully they can do something with it and get it fixed. Because again, I've not got the money to spend on £1,000 worth of bandsaw. So hopefully they can fix it. But in the meantime, I've got my tomato bone saw, bandsaw. That's running well. While we were there, we got a new blade for that, so that's running. So I've been using the bone saw, and that works really well. So I am able to put wood through it and pen blanks, and cut corners off bigger bowl blanks, and that works really well. It's just that it hasn't got all the fences and guides that a modern bandsaw has. So that was that. Anyway, the news about Phil.
Yeah, and how did I tell you? Have I got news for you?
Yeah, I got a text, Nicola, saying, have I got news for you? So we played the game, 20 questions.
It was about 300.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. And it was, who is it? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Do I know them? Do I not know them? Do I like them? All that sort of questions. Have they been here? All this sort of stuff. So I wasn't getting it. I'd narrowed it down to Axminster, but I could not, for the life of me, get the right answer. So Nicola said, well, it's Phil. He's moving to Devon in September to take over.
To manage the Devon store.
To take over the Axminster retail store in Devon. So, no, I didn't even see that coming. Excuse the pun.
I had said, though, because when I emailed him back, he'd emailed me and I emailed him back. And I said, well, I did call it because I had mentioned to you about the possibility of him going down there. But yeah, it's such a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah,
it's every time we go down, we always say how nice it is, don't we? And just a different pace of life and being by the sea,
and beautiful countryside, and it's going to be good for Phil, down there, and he's
being closer to HQ.
Yeah, 10 minutes from HQ. At the minute, obviously, when he has to go down there for managerial meetings and board meetings and things like that, he's got that 4 or 5 hour drive each time. So he's only going to have a 10-minute drive. So yeah, we're sad to see you go, Phil, and I know you're going to listen to this because that text then was send me the link to it and and let me know when it's done. So Phil has played a huge part in where I am now. From the first day that I went into Axminster, he was so kind, and he's so cheeky in a lovable way. And quite a few people in Axminster say, "Oh yeah, he's the Del boy of the group," and that is only meant as a compliment. But he's all right, Chief. How you doing? He talks at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and what you doing? How you doing? And then you'll be talking to him, and then he's gone, and then. It's right, yeah. Well, tell Phil we said goodbye, because he'll be up then in his office doing paperwork and stuff. So, yeah, if you can remember back to when I'd mentioned that I'd gone in Axminster initially with my support worker, Dean, and the odd time, people that had taken me, they'd leave me there for a demo so I could listen to a demo. And Phil, don't worry, we'll look after you, get you your brews, and we'll get you a seat, and you can feel everything and anything you want, and don't worry about it. And really, really did look after me. And it was Phil who was the first person that went, yeah, Chief, how about doing a demo for me? So my first ever demo was because of Phil.
Well, he started that ball rolling, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had the confidence in me. For me to do my first public demonstration. And from that, there were people in the audience that were members and secretaries and chairmen of woodturning clubs. So that was the start for us as far as professional demonstrations. So I've got a lot to be thankful for to Phil and his team, and he was also instrumental in getting us the sponsorship.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
He played a big integral part.
He's done a lot of liaison between us and Axminster, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's always saying, "Leave it with me. I'll get it sorted. I won't take any messing about," and he does. You know, he gets things sorted, and then he gets back to us. So he has been a great.
Yeah. Well, he's been a great supporter, hasn't he?
Oh yeah. He's always said, "Anything I can do for you, mate.
Yeah.
You know, within reason. You know, I'll do my best for you," and he has. He's been true to his word, and yeah, we're going to miss him, but he's got to do what he's got to do. He wants to further his career. He's going to be near a HQ. Obviously, the travelling is going to be a lot better for him. He's going to live in a beautiful part of the world, and he'll be able to just crack on. And I'm sure that store, you know, will go from strength to strength. It's a nice little store, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not the end of us meeting Phil, because if we get, hopefully he'll book us.
Yeah, he might book us for a Devon.
Yeah, Devon demo. So yeah, when you hear this, Phil, you know we love you, man, and thank you so much for everything. And yeah, get my bloody bandsaw fixed before you go, please. And don't spank my ass with the invoice. You know, I'm a struggling blind artist. You know the deal. Come on. So, no, lovely guy. So
yeah,
that's it.
He's been very good.
And he's just. I texted him. I said, you know, is it public knowledge? Are we allowed to mention you go? And he said, oh yeah, that'd be nice, thanks. And then that second text was, well, let me know when it's done and send me the link. So we will. So adios, Phil. But we'll get to speak to him.
He's not going. I think he starts there 1st of September. So
yeah,
he's got a couple of months yet to move down there. But yeah, what a great place to live as well. So yeah, so
that was like, whoa. I'd never guessed that Phil was moving down there, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So there's a vacancy opening up at Warrington for a manager.
Yeah.
And I believe it's being advertised externally, because if it goes internal, they've got to move a manager from some other store, and it's just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I think they'll be going for someone externally. So yeah, there'll be a new manager coming in the autumn there.
Yeah.
But Dan from Warrington, he's recently been made. So Dan was obviously one of the advisors there on the shop floor, but he's now been promoted to deputy. So it's a great team there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And every time we go in there, they're all really good with us. And obviously we go and look for stuff, don't we? And I know most of the stuff, but it was just the odd thing that's a bit unusual or something. If you're just doing a one-off, I don't always know where to look, so they'll help us.
Yeah, or they'll just go and get it for us, like Shawnee.
Yeah.
You know, oh, have you got one of these, Shawnee? Yeah. Do you want one? Yeah. And she'll go, and then she'll unbox it and let me have a feel. Yeah. And I'll go, yeah, that's it.
Well, they're all very experienced and knowledgeable, aren't they? And you get a lot of good information from them.
Yeah, and they're always attending courses at the skill centre.
Yeah.
You know, engineering courses and product knowledge and wood turning courses. So they're all, you know, improving their hands-on skills and techniques as well. It's not just you go in there and say, I want one of these. They'll say, oh, great, yeah. Or do you want me to show you? Do you want me to show you how to use it? So it's great. You can get hands-on try before you buy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. So yes, excelente. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been up to a couple of things. Something that's been quite pivotal this week is somebody I know called Katya from Easy Insta Manchester. She's an Instagram trainer that I know, and she sends out a really good newsletter. And in the last newsletter, she mentioned somebody called Helen Redfern, who it was all to do with IGTV on Instagram. And Helen does a lot of IGTV, and she's really good at it. So Katia just mentioned her as somebody to look at. So I started having a look at her stuff. Then I ended up on a website. I've pretty much read the entire website. I've watched most of her YouTube videos, but she's just so on my wavelength. And I've got a little project that I've got on the go at the moment that is just sort of in the early stages. And what she's doing is very similar to what I want to do. So I've exchanged emails with her, and she's given me some really good advice and input. And it's just helped really clarify my thinking. So one of the things that she uses is one of these notebooks, and it has a pen elastic there, so you can put your pen in the spine.
Can I have a feel, please? I've felt this one.
No, not yet. Just let me show what it is, and I'll pass it over to you. So I'm doing my plans for my website. I've got stuff for my newsletter. I've got plans till the end of the year. Newsletter ideas, YouTube ideas, blog post ideas. So I'm just, there's lots of blank pages, but they're squares. I really like square pages. And as Helen said, the paper's really nice. So if you write with a fountain pen, it writes really well.
Square pages? Do you mean it's graphed, like with the blocks?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
And then it's got a pocket at the back. So I've got some cards that I've had for a while. I can't remember where I worked, but they had all these blank cards. So they were just chucking them out, so I brought them home. So they're good. It's got has a ribbon as well, so you can mark your page, and then it's got an elastic to hold it all together, and it's called Le Môme, but it's really great. It's a really nice feeling notebook, and it wasn't very expensive either.
Is it a French origin then?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Don't panic. Google it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and it's absolutely great. For the idea with this, and what Helen uses hers for, is planning what she puts on a website, what she does on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there you go. So you can feel that.
Ooh, very posh.
Yeah. So yeah.
And while I think don't forget I need that book for the workshop as part of the
accident book.
Yeah, I need an accident book for the workshop. Just
put it on my list.
Not that I'm planning on having any accidents, not anybody else, but we just want to for the RPT assessment. Okay. I think it would be prudent just to have one to go.
There it is. It's on my to-do list.
It would be prudent to have one to go along with the first aid kit.
Yeah.
You know, just in case.
Yeah.
Better to have one and not need it.
Yeah.
Than to need one and not have it. So
I'm not finished yet.
No, it's all right. Carry on. I was just going to say so. Carry on.
So I've also, you won't be able to see it here, but I've got a kind of Kanban board with Post-it notes on the floor with all my plans, all my different activities, projects. So that's my overview, and then I need to drill down and create a monthly and weekly and daily plan from that.
Tell people that you made that board and how you made it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can just get it then.
So
I went into the garden centre, and I was just having a look to see what they'd got, and they'd got some pieces at the back, and this was the top of a table. It's probably one of those drop leaf tables. Mm-hmm. So you can see it's got these what do you call these, batons.
Yeah. This is on the underside.
Yeah, this is the underside. So it was a bit long, really, and I thought, well, if I cut it in half and rearrange it, so this piece was at the side, so it was lengthways. I wanted it so that I could photograph squares. So we cut it in half on the table saw.
You cut it in half on the table.
I cut it in half on the table saw, and then there were some dowels already, so we used what was already existing, and we added one.
Yeah, and then
we drilled the holes because the dowels weren't lined up.
Yeah, I've got a dowel jig.
Yeah.
So you used that and you drilled 2 holes. It was.
Yeah.
And put in fresh dowels.
Yeah.
And did the glue up and the clamp up.
Yeah.
And also underneath, actually we were going to clamp it up, but I didn't have clamps long enough. So we got the pocket hole jig and screwed in.
Well, you did that, didn't you?
I did that because you'd gone inside to get something, hadn't you?
Yeah.
So that literally took me 5 minutes. It's got 4 pocket holes and screwed in, and so that pulled the boards together. So it had Type Bond 2 on it, wood glue, which you put on and everything. And then
Then I stained it.
No, you didn't. What did you do before you stained it?
I sanded it.
Yeah, respirator on and everything.
Yeah, I had the Axminster, what's it?
Yeah, the power cap.
The Axminster power cap, highly recommended.
Yeah.
Because it was a very hot day, and I'm not very keen on those paper masks that you put over your nose. I can't. I found them hard to use and breathe through. So I went the whole hog, and it was great. So yeah, I sanded this down, and you got the plane, didn't you? And because this wasn't entirely level. So
it's an old board, and this is actually 4. You can feel the joins if you're careful. This is actually 4 boards glued up.
You can see.
So I mean, it's old, and things were beginning to move and separate. So Nicola sanded it all as flat as you wanted it.
Yeah, planed it.
Yeah.
Did a bit more sanding.
Yeah. And
then stained it with was it walnut?
Walnut stain.
And then put that wax on.
Liberon black bison.
Black wax. So yeah, so that's where it's up to. Now the reason why I wanted this, I wanted a backdrop so that I can do flat lays for Instagram. So what I'll do is I'll lay this flat either on the floor or on a table, and then you'll put things on it. Maybe, if I'm writing a blog post, I'll put things on here that are relevant to the blog post, and then I'll take a picture, but looking down onto the board. So that's why it's called a flat lay.
So what was you wanted something that the wood board, you were going for an old.
I wanted something dark.
An old.
Yeah, something old and kind of rustic looking. Nothing new, and because there's little holes here and there's scratches, and
you wanted them kept, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And I wanted, quite like there's lots of grain going on here.
You did mention sort of like an old farmhouse table.
Yeah,
that's had a bit of use.
Yeah, and also I wanted it dark so that if I put something on that's light or white, it's going to really pop. So that's what I'm using that for.
Yeah, that was all you. That was your hour in the workshop fettling, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was quite pleased with that.
Well, it's not falling apart yet, so
yeah,
job done.
So that's part of my plan for my website. So yeah, I've got quite a few things that I'm doing on my website now. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that Chris and I do together, and talking about it from my perspective as Mrs. Blind Woodturner. Doing lots of stuff outside, doing some filming for IGTV on Instagram. So yeah, I've got a long list of things in my book. But yeah, it's Helen's fantastic. It was it's been so helpful just reading her stuff. I suppose, like, you know, a lot of you makers, you'll watch somebody who is maybe doing something that you want to do, or, you know, if you're into wood turning, watching another wood turner and getting ideas. And yeah, it's very much the same for me with her. She's given me lots of ideas and lots of things that I can kind of borrow from her and implement in my own way. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it. Yesterday I went to an Instagram event in Manchester. It was a Manchester meetup. It was more for fashion Instagrammers. So I didn't really know that when I booked onto it. Katya was there, who I know. So we chatted quite a bit. But yeah, some of them, they're quite big names in fashion Instagramming. But I didn't know who they were. I'd never come across
Sorry,
a lot of them.
girls.
Sorry. But looking at their profiles, when I came home, I could see that, you know, some of them were actually quite well known and quite big in their fields, but I didn't have any clue. So yeah, and I had a really good conversation with somebody who knows Chris. So yeah, watch this space. That might evolve into something later on as well. But yeah, it was interesting. It was because I'm not particularly fashion conscious. Shopping for clothes is my worst nightmare. So it was
shopping full stop is our worst nightmare.
Yeah, unless it's stationery, I can do shopping for stationery, but mostly I do it online. But yeah, shopping for clothes, just not my bag at all.
No, we just hate being in throngs of sheeple, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, everybody spent all week earning, you know, money and then spend it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something we don't really like to do. Hit the shops of a weekend. And for a lot of people, they love it. We get that, and this isn't,
I only
being
go
down
if I've
on them.
absolutely got to.
It's just not
Usually
for us.
I reach a point where I literally have nothing in my wardrobe, and that's not one of these, oh, I've got nothing to wear. I really have nothing to wear by the time I go shopping. That's really what makes me go.
We'd rather be creative and be doing stuff at home, in the workshop, and that's what matters to us, our creative life. And
it was quite an eye-opener though, because it was sort of meeting people that I don't normally meet, and a group of people that I probably wouldn't really come across in normal circumstances. So yeah, it was interesting. There were a couple of people that had some interesting stories to tell, and
it's funny because that photograph that's in your reading room that Dean saw when Dean was working for me, and he described it to me. It's funny because it still makes me laugh. Dean saw this photograph of you probably in your 20s.
Yeah, it was.
And he says, you look quite glamorous. And, it's obviously a portrait and you've got your hair and makeup done. Dean said to me, he said, hey, she was a bloody good looker in her day. And I went, hey, I said, I think she's beautiful still now. So I think we'll get that photograph and show people one day.
Well, there's one up on that wall.
No, it's the one in the other room. I'm going to go and get it. And don't say no because I'll still do it. So
anyway, whilst Chris has gone, should we talk about him, Bamba? No. So after we've done this, we're going to get packed up to go to North Wales. So we're not leaving till later because otherwise we'll just be sat around for ages. So we're probably going to go sort of early evening. And then we'll just get sorted in the room. Chris has packed the car, so he's packed all his tools and the lathe and everything. Yeah. Oh my God, how many have you got?
Well, these are the two that Dean described to me, I think. So,
I don't know which ones you've got there. I think if that, I'm not sure if I like that one.
well, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. Right, so I think this is the one that Dean described to me, where Dean said, bloody hell, Nicola was a good-looking girl in a day. What's that one?
Yeah.
Right, so am I pointing at the screen?
Yeah.
So...
yeah, you're just getting this. Let me try and get the reflection off. That's better.
Right, so that's, Nicola saying she's not into a fashion and things like that. But,
well, I'm not.
But was that sort of like an outfit you'd have worn for work at the time, or?
This was just a t-shirt. I mean, it's just a top, very similar to what I still wear now.
Mm.
These pictures, I knew a photographer in London, and he took a series of photographs of me. I think this was part of the first lot. And
how old are you on this?
26, 27, maybe, something like that.
Okay, so this is après Paris, isn't it? And
oh yeah, yeah.
Stuff.
This was when I lived in London, and Paul, who did the pictures, he used a studio in Camden, and it was near David Bailey's house. And one night, I mean, Paul knew David Bailey. We were sat in the car. I think I was taking Paul back home or something, and he sort of hunkered down in the car and said, "Oh, that's David Bailey. Don't let him see me."
And then you've got this one.
Yeah, less keen on this one.
Is that right? I'm holding it at an angle again. So
yeah,
was it that way?
I'm not sure how old I would have been with this one. This was taken at Venture. It's okay. I think I got a voucher or something.
All right.
It's one of the. I'm not really keen on studio photography. But yeah.
But yeah, it's just Dean
There's
saying
another one up on that wall as well.
All right, we'll get that one.
Yeah,
may as well. So yeah, it was just Dean saying, "Oh yeah, she bloody gorgeous in her younger days," and that's always baffles me, that statement. Like thinking, why do you think she's ugly now? And I said to her, I said, "Hey, you cheeky sod." He went, "Well, no, she's still good looking," and he was backpedaling then. So
this was done. I think this was done at the same time as the other one. This was Paul as well. He had me doing all sorts. I can't remember if I was stood up on ladders and things like that. But so he was.
Were these short hair or long hair?
This is sort of shoulder length or chin length hair.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is right in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you look like you fit in with the 80s?
Well, as much as I ever did.
I've
got a denim jacket on this one.
All right, cool.
With the collar up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The reason why I have these up is not for vanity.
I'll hang them back up later, folks. But yeah, it's things like this that I miss out on.
Yeah.
Because I have to have people describe, and people say, flipping heck, she was gorgeous in her younger days, and I'm thinking, yeah, great, but I think she's gorgeous now. But it's a shame that I don't get to see things like that. But hey ho.
Yeah.
Hey ho, I can always do this. Who's just sort of mash my hands around your face. So well, there you go. People have seen you now in your roaring 20s.
Yeah, that's another blog post.
Yes. Yeah, call it the roaring 20s. So yeah. So those people anyway, yesterday at the Instagram thing, you've got girls the same age as what you are in those photos now.
Yeah.
Fully glammed up with, you were describing the dresses and they've got the suntans and all the nails done and hair and makeup must cost an absolute fortune. And you go in a blouse and your jeans and
pretty much as I am now.
and this is it. People don't know what people have done in their lives or what they're doing now.
Yeah.
So let you talk about that, because this is...
Well, I mean, there's a part of me that kind of does it deliberately as well, because I don't really want to blend in. I mean, I don't own a single dress. I'm just not that sort of person.
Nor do I.
No, yeah, that's good. And I don't really have any strappy shoes or anything like that. I mean, my wedding shoes when we got married last year were a pair of fur-lined boots, ankle boots, that I wore under my dress. But yeah, I'm not really, I'm not particularly a girly girl, but yeah.
You have your moments.
Well, yeah.
You know, but yeah, you're...
I was like, I walked in there and it was like being the ugly duckling. And there were one or two people that kind of looked me up and down and thought, no, I don't think I'm going to talk to you. It was funny.
But it's a shame because, again, we know that, you know, you're highly educated and you studied at the Sorbonne and all this sort of stuff, and you've been in the corporate world for many years, and, you know, you're a published author and this, that, and the other, and yet people look at you and go, blouse and jeans at an event like this. Well, yeah, not even going to bother engaging. But what a fascinating story you've got, and it's people first impressions, but they're missing out on something.
Yeah.
And you know, you could have a good conversation like you did with Katya and this other lady.
Yeah.
That there might be something evolving from that.
Well, I mean, Katya and I, we really get on anyway, you know, and I know Katya a bit more. You know, we were chatting about all sorts of things, and Katya does Instacake, which I love, which is another Instagram meetup, but it's more people who are into the same things as me, so creative stuff, and they're makers, and there's a couple of people who do design fabrics and home furnishings and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're kind of more on my wavelength, so that makes it a bit easier. But yeah, after I'd been to the Instagram meetup, I left a bit early. It was due to finish at 6, and I left about 4:15, I think.
Very hot in Manchester.
It was. I mean, it was packed out. This place we were in, it was called the Refinery, and it's a very trendy watering hole. It started at 2:00 and they had a DJ on, and it was like thump, thump, thump.
No.
Yeah.
What did you say?
It was, yeah. And I was just thinking, give me a nice quiet tea room any day.
Yeah.
But I've always been like this. It's not a sign of age. I was like this. I've never really been into the unts kind of scene at all. But yeah, after I'd been there, I rang Chris, and I walked over to one of the car parks in Castlefield, because we watch a guy called Martin Zero on YouTube, and he does these really amazing videos of kind of the unseen Manchester and all these little bits in Manchester that people have no idea about, the historical things.
He's an urban explorer.
Yeah.
But he talks about a lot of the, you know, listed buildings, the old mills, the old factories, hidden waterways, the canals, and
all sorts of stuff like that. But on one of them, he talked about this massive kind of boulder that's in a car park, and it's underneath the arches. And so I went to find this car park.
Sorry, have to.
I went to this car park, and that's under a big arch, and then as you go in, there are smaller arches at the back. So I looked in a few of these arches until I found this big rock, and honestly, if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't go looking for it.
And pray tell, Nicola, what is it?
It is the last remaining stone of the Roman fort that was set up in Manchester. So it is an original stone. There's no blue plaque, there's no marker. Obviously, it's kind of been built around, and I think it's deliberately not been moved, but there's no marker or anything, and I just thought,
Yeah, so come on, Manchester, what's that all about?
I'm not finished yet.
Well, I'm having a rant now. Yeah, come on, Manchester.
You made me forget what I was going to say.
Have you got it written down?
I'm going to write it down because I've forgotten by
Well,
the time you've finished.
Yeah, Manchester, my hometown. Flipping heck, you've got something there that's millennia old, and it's tucked away out of sight under a railway arch or a canal or aqueduct arch. Come on, let's make something of it.
I know. And I never come across it. I'd never heard about it before Martin Zero did his video. But yeah, I was really pleased to find it. But after coming from the fashion Instagrammers event, and all these women who were wearing the best togs, and seeing this boulder that is quite anonymous, and unless you actually know what it is, you see it and you just walk right past. You wouldn't give it a second glance. And it's that whole thing about don't judge a book by its cover, don't judge by appearances, because sometimes the most insignificant looking things can have this amazing history. And that's what I was thinking. It's just, it's like a slab of rock, and nobody would give it a second glance, but it's how old will it be?
Well, the Roman occupation in Britain, I mean,
2,000 years old.
It's 2,000 years old,
yeah,
give or take.
So but I was really pleased to see that, because I knew where it was, but I've just not had a chance to go to that area and look for it. So
because the whole of Castlefield, it's sort of, it's a nod towards our Roman heritage, but it's more of a recreation, isn't it? A facsimile. But that stone that you're talking about, it's the last remaining original piece of the Roman fort. So that piece of rock was hewn by, I'm not going to say Romans, or probably slaves, but it's got a lot of history, and it's just tucked away in a nondescript arch.
And there's weeds growing in front of it, and it's got railings in front of it. So all the car park has got the railings on the perimeter, and then behind that you've got these smaller little arches, and then I think at some point it must have been bricked over, because you can see bricks going up either side, but then there's just weeds growing up in front of it. But it just seems such a shame. But I suppose in one respect I quite like the fact that it's not
it's grungy for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not signposted, so it's only people who know about it that are going to find it. And it's not going to get damaged or anything like that. But I quite like it sort of being a bit anonymous as well.
Yeah, quite a few people I think are claiming it as their little secret.
Yeah, it's my little secret.
Which is not what it was until you just told
told everybody.
Told a few people. But if you're ever in the city centre of Manchester, see if you can go and track it down. But don't tell anyone. One of the original pieces. But if you check out Martin Zero on YouTube,
you'll find his video about it.
Yeah, so it's not a secret. I think it should be. Maybe it's not been moved because that's its original place and they've just built around it. But I think really it should be relocated. If they want a plaque there to say this is the original site, well, it should be relocated, put on a beautiful plinth with a blue plaque.
No, you see, I'd want it left where it is, because they built those arches have been built so that arch went over it.
All right, okay.
So it was built with the arches.
Well, they need to clean up around it then and make it.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be moved. I think it needs to be left there.
Floodlit at night for people.
Well, that car park, you can't always get in the car park because it'll be locked or there'll be security on it. So
they should be celebrating that.
Yeah.
Whatever which way they deem fit. But, celebrate that. That lump of rock, celebrate it.
Yeah. So yeah, in other news, I've started a new stumpery in the garden with some of Chris's offcuts. So yeah, I've just been building a new stumpery.
Yeah, when I'm doing stuff with a chainsaw, just little offcuts that I've got, don't like the feel of that. I just chuck them up the soil bank near the hawthorn trees, and then when you get a few minutes spare, you go right and you arrange them. And
it's like a jigsaw. It's like putting together a jigsaw to make them all wedge and stay still.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know what a stumpery is,
well, it's logs or offcuts from trees, and you arrange them so that they look quite attractive in either a line or on top of each other, and then you can put plants in the gaps in between all the logs, and grow ferns and stuff like that.
Great for insects and things like that.
Yeah,
great nesting place. Yeah, for insects. And who was it, Chris Birdshaw, that you?
Yeah, he's done a lot of stumperies. Yes. He did a program on stumperies. Can't remember what Gardener's World, or I can't remember which program it was. Might be Gardener's World.
Well, he was on Gardener's World for a long time. Yeah. So you like your stumperies? Have you got 3 now? 2 or 3?
I've got 3. I've got one in between two trunks of hawthorn. Oh. Then I've got one next to the little bench. Then I've got the big one either side of another hawthorn.
All right, okay.
So I tend to build them around the base of a tree. Oh. So we've done Axminster, we've done Phil, we've done Instagram, we've done Helen, we've done the stumpery. You had Matthew here this week?
Yeah, Matthew was here again this week. We've done another video,
which is nearly ready to go live. It just needs a bit more editing.
So that was good fun. I'm not gonna say what it was.
No.
Wait till it goes live and then you can watch it. So yeah, that was cool having Matthew here again, and he's here again this Wednesday. We've already got an idea for what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So yeah, Matthew keeps in touch throughout the week, saying he's nearly done the video and I've done this bit so far, and what do you think of that? And so yeah, he's keeping in touch. Actually, while I think on Woodfest is coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to that. And Baz Starkey from Timber Marvels, he's doing his first demo there. So we're going to go and give him our support. And
I don't know what day we're going on yet. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll go and listen and hang out with Baz while he's doing his first demo. So that's cool. So what else is happening next weekend?
We're in North Shields. Yeah, so there's a few people in North Shields that we might see. I think Kevin is in North Shields, isn't he? So I think there might be a few people who said they're going to come along.
Yeah, that was a good giggle last year. We really liked it there, didn't we? It was so laid back and nice. We stayed just really right next to the port, the ferry and things, didn't we?
We're not staying there this time.
Well, they've relocated the store just down the road a little bit, haven't they? They moved into a new store. That was going on after we demoed there last year.
Yeah, we're staying in a different hotel this time.
Right. So we're going up next Friday.
Yeah.
Demoing Saturday. Come back Saturday night. Drive straight home again. So that's pretty good. So the demos are continuing 2 tomorrow, 1 next weekend.
Yeah.
Keeping busy.
So that's it, really.
Yeah. Well, I've really enjoyed today. Not that I say this. Not that I don't enjoy every podcast we do, but it doesn't feel like Sunday to me today.
No,
and that's because we're going to be driving to a demo today on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not till tomorrow, but.
Yeah, I'm just going to mention, I've just bought these today. These are Sharpies, ultra fine point. Normally Sharpies are quite thick, which I quite like. I have a big one, but these are really nice. I'm a bit of a pen freak.
A bit? You're a huge pen
I'm a
geek.
huge pen, freak, geek.
Mm.
But yeah, these I can recommend these.
You bought them for your journaling, you said?
Yeah. So and so as you listen to this on Monday, the 1st of July.
Lucky White Rabbits.
Yeah, Lucky White Rabbits. The following week it will be Andy Berkey. So we're looking forward to talking to Andy on the 8th of July.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, Andy, isn't he?
And he's into his photography as well. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I think really we've discussed everything we needed to discuss really there. So what time are we on now? Because we'll be leaving about
10 to 3.
All right. So
I don't know how long we've been on. Doesn't really say, but anyway.
Right. We're leaving about 4ish, you said?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So the car, all I've got to do is chuck toothbrush and toiletries in my rucksack and that sort of stuff. And then we're pretty good to go. B-Dog's got his essentials in his travel bag.
Yeah.
He's got his fodder, he's got some water, he's got his bowl, spare poop bags. So need to go and do our overnight bags now.
Yeah.
So yes, until next time, enjoy this podcast. The day after the day before. And we'll catch you. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Well, we're getting more subscribers. We're not really plugging this a lot, are we? It's just sort of we're just winging it. But the subscribers are going up every time I log on and have a look. So thank you very much, and hope you enjoy this podcast.
Yeah, and like I say on my YouTube channel, if you are new to the channel, thank you so very much. You are most welcome. And if you are a long-standing repeat offender, thank you for sticking with us. Lots more to come. And some great guests in the pipeline. So stay tuned, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll speak to you next week. So until then, bye.
Bye.